See, when I do the countdown, I get in trouble. I'm sitting here with my countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the FBI comes knocking at my door.
What is it you pray for?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 137th episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Lawrence Knight.
Salutations and greetings.
Indeed. As Lawrence just remarked backstage right before we went live, it's been a minute since it's just gone live with just me and him. Just the intimate little couple of us doing the thing. But here we are. Show's ready to go. Happy to be here.
Well, I guess you're waiting for that third. I guess you're waiting for that third voice to pop up.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm just it's weird because I've been doing so much like game streaming lately, and I've been getting better at being like more engaged with the audience while I'm getting my ass kicked. And
which by the way is my favorite part.
Oh, I know it is. But it's allowed me to kind of practice my podcast voice or my radio voice a little bit, and so I'm always working on that. And it's just kind of a I guess the more you do it, the better at it you get, because I think I am getting pretty good at it at this point.
Radio voice, but you sound exactly the same.
Right. I just mean lots less of the uhs and the ums and the filler words and that sort of thing, and just being able to keep up a more consistent flow with my words.
I tried to help you last night.
That wasn't helpful at all.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it helped me get a good laugh.
I'm sure
that's what mattered. I was, like I said, if you learn how to fight, you would. And it's always these big, clumsy enemies. Like, this dude can fight the faster stuff, but you get these big, especially those puppets with the wheels on the back. I don't know what it is with you and these wheels, man.
I don't know. They always kick the shit out of me, but you got a point there. That, like, the faster enemy, I don't know, something about the delayed attacks that always throw me off with the slower dudes. Like the timing's just weird on those, so I do have a harder time dealing with that. But yeah, it's for those of you in the audience who don't know, I've been doing a fair amount of game streaming on the channel as well lately. Currently going through Lies of P, having a lot of fun. If you come by, you get to see me die a lot. So it's a good time, I guess, for somebody.
and it's been great. It's been great watching him get beat up.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of been something like I've been able to do on the channel again. I'm very happy to be able to do it on the channel again because I really enjoy doing it. But yeah, it's been kind of cool. We've had some fun. Some of y'all in the chat have actually been there and all that, and I appreciate you guys being there. And yeah, it's been a good time. It's been I think possibly not a healthy distraction, but a distraction nonetheless from life and the world and all that stuff. And I enjoy it.
Well, it depends, man. I mean, speaking of somebody coming from a military background, video game playing and even watching it can be very therapeutic.
Yeah, it can be. The thing is, I don't know if you remember, Larry, years ago when I used to do this a lot more, right? We had a fellow who was in the chat pretty consistently at that time, went by Bo Omega, right? And I would play these games and I put like chatting and the hashtags too, but because of what we do on this show and more to the point on SITV, which was a lot more political in those days than it is currently, all he'd want to do in the chat is start riffing on like geopolitics and shit, and I'm trying to keep up a conversation with him, but at the same time I'm like, I can't really be thinking about that while I'm getting my face pounded in, dude. It's like I have to reorder my brain every time he pokes the comment. It's very distracting. Please stop.
Well, I'll tell you what, that Liza P has really been pounding your face. I mean, they them big dumb puppets be having you deep throating.
I
You
think
talking about pounding your face.
I think I'm actually doing pretty well given the kind of game that it is.
I don't know
Um,
that King puppet last night was teabagging you pretty good.
oh, that wasn't anywhere near the worst one. The worst one was the clown, the stream before that. It took me 2 hours to kill this mini boss. No,
You
no
better
joke.
be you better be thanking God, whether you believe in him or not. You better be thanking God that I wasn't around to see that one.
Yeah, it was rough. It was unfortunate and very unpleasant. I was getting actually genuinely angry by the time we got to.
Yeah, I wish I'd have seen that.
It was.
But
I had
but
to get up and stretch and take a break and walk away for a bit for a couple of minutes and come back to it and like rethink how I was doing everything and all that. Eventually, I did get in, but it did take like 2 straight hours of me just getting my ass handed to me. Yeah, let's go ahead and say hello to the chat real quick.
all right.
All right, so we've got Kohai Masochist in the chat. Good to see you. Welcome in. We've got Aaron Laura with us tonight. Hello, hello, hello. Beak, welcome, dude. Welcome. Scrolling down, I see Old Blindy in the chat. Hello, my man. Old Blindy's been hanging out with me quite a bit on those games, and Aaron's been there for a few of them too. We've got Lepo. Good to see you, Lepo. Let's see. Scrolling down, Aerial Ballet. I did not sell my voice to porn. Okay. Jacob Gallo. Hello, hello, hello.
Hell,
We've got
Ariel.
Clue with us, Clue Studio. Good to see you. Continue to scroll down. I think that's everybody so far. Oh, there's Abe. Hi, Abe. Good to see you, man. And I think that's everybody in chat so far. We are live currently on Twix, YouTube, and Rumble. If you're in any of those places, please do drop comments so we see that you see us, that we see you. It's a whole circular thing there. And we appreciate all you being here, man. Larry, what do we got on the docket for tonight?
Hey, we've got some stuff tonight. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about that I saw in the news, but also one of the things gave me a great idea for tonight, which is cursed objects. And then of course, we've got Monsters Ball, but we've got two different ways that we can do this, and I'm gonna try to hold off until Devil gets here. We'll see if Devil shows up. But I am gonna start off with some announcements. So um, as we prepare to finish off Monsters Ball, and with one of the ways that we could do it, it would end tonight. All the remaining matches would happen tonight, which will result in a triple threat. Uh, Monsters Ball is going to take a break until September. The reason why is September is going to be. I've designated September to be the kickoff of the road to Halloween, and this year's stream, the last stream in October, is going to be October is going to be a special one anyway because at our 150th episode is going to land right in the middle of October. Our last stream in October is actually on Halloween this year. So of course we've got to show up and show out. I'm actually considering about because I'm going to be wearing a costume and I thought about it long and hard about what I wanted to be this year. Like last year, I was a Grim Reaper last year. This year, I'm gonna be a Sith from Star Wars. And there's a helmet. This guy makes these custom helmets, and there's one of them that's based off of Darth Maul. So I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna get the helmet, and then I'm gonna get one of those Neophane lightsabers, and I'm gonna put a custom Sith outfit together, and go out there and take my kids out, and I'll probably stream that night. I'll probably cam up with it on. So what else? What else? But yeah, so Monsters Ball, what I want to do is for the next iteration of it, I want to time it so that it will end on that night because I would like to have the Halloween stream to be a long one, um, if possible. And I really want to put the effort into it because this one I just put a bunch of names, down on a list, and then started having going at it. But this time I wanna have a real good focus on it, and really focus on a bunch of other things. I've actually got a list of ideas and things that I've run through the good old Chat GPT, get my thoughts down and bounce some things off, because I want this year's road to Halloween to be a good one. I thought last year's was okay. Uh, we had to call a couple audibles, but I think that it still came out pretty decent. Um, but yeah, with that said, um, let's as far as tonight, one of the things I want to talk about. I don't know. You probably heard about this one. Is did you hear about they're calling it Coldplay Gate? Did you hear about it?
I did hear about it, and it is the single dumbest thing that's happened in the news this week.
All right, how much do you know about it? Because I thought so too, and I was like, why are they talking? This happens every day. Why are they talking about this? And then I started looking into the details, and I was like, oh, okay, I can see why this blew up into a big thing.
So apparently, the tech CEO who got caught on the jumbotron making out with the chick who is not his wife, but is in fact the HR, the head of HR for his company. Right. First of all, folks, never screw your HR manager ever. That doesn't end well.
And it's not his company. He's a CEO. He got hired. He
Right.
replaced the original CEO who did create the company.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know too much about it. I think that he'd been going around saying some stuff that was very much um, in opposition to what he was displaying on that jumbotron, and that's what the big deal is. Although for my money, the big deal for me is who the fuck goes to a Coldplay concert.
that's what that's it's funny that you say that, right? Because my one of my coworkers was talking about how awesome Coldplay concerts are and how I should go. And while he's telling me this, I'm reading the internet comments, and people were like, "Who the hell goes to a Coldplay concert? Of all the places to
Right.
to cheat on your wife." to take-
Like, I mean, again, maybe if I get in a time machine and hop back to 2003, maybe. you know?
Okay, so what I found out, now, I don't know if you saw the video, but when when they were doing when they were on the jumbotron, and they were doing the kiss cam, there was a girl that was filming it with her cell phone, and she caught it and she posted it on her Facebook. And when the crap hit the fan and she got interviewed, she had a nerve to sit there and say, "Oh, I didn't know anything was going to happen. Maybe I just thought it was just something cute." And it's like, when that's tech CEO and the head of HR. And by the way, they weren't alone, and I'll explain who else was with them. But when that jumbotron hit them, the girl put her hands over her face and she turned. The tech CEO literally dove out of the view of the camera. He
Yeah.
literally dove out of the way.
Yeah. I did see the footage of it. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, so there was another woman that was with them. Now that HR manager, she's been doing HR for 20 years, so she knew better.
Right.
She's been with that company for 8 months. The woman that was with them is a friend of hers that she hired into that company and had just given a promotion to. So you're there, you are a hired CEO. And by the way, this company it's a $1 billion company. So imagine how much
Right.
he's making. And he's married and he's got a kid. So
Yeah.
you're doing all that, and you've got somebody with you that could potentially blackmail your behinds, both of you. And that's probably why she got the promotion. Because if this woman, the HR CEO or the head of HR, she's only been there 8 months, and she hired it. That girl's been there even less time, and she's already walking around with a promotion. If I'm a regular employee walking around, that's a red flag to me. That tells me, oh, something's going on at least with these two. But so, and I feel bad for the wife because the wife started getting bombarded with messages of people sending the video to her and saying, "Hey, your husband's cheating on you, with this girl." So she had to take all her social media stuff down, and it just blew into a big thing. And then they were, they went on to their. The funny part for me was when they went on to that girl's, when they went on to her LinkedIn, because she said she was great at servicing co-workers, from everyone from the CEO down to the assistant. And then she said she was, quote, energized by her conversations with the tech CEO.
Yeah.
He said some
Where's
stuff too.
we've got some footage as well. No, you guys might enjoy it. I don't know if y'all have seen this.
I haven't.
Apparently, Philly has no chill. That's pretty much it. That's like the whole thing. But yeah, the
That's
memes that
hilarious.
come out of this are glorious.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing though. When when the real couple, when they really got busted, right? The lead singer of Coldplay, he's singing. The kiss cam, the kiss cam's right in front of him, right?
Mhm.
But he sees what happens, right? He stops singing and goes, either those two are having an affair or they're just really shy. And then goes back to playing. According to the news report that I read. He like said it right then and there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, do people not understand that there are cameras everywhere, particularly at public events now? Right? Like if you wanna mess around on your wife, don't do it where there's any chance of anybody catching it on camera. I honestly don't do it at all. But if you're gonna do it, be smarter than that. you know.
They look like those puppets they was kicking off in your butt the other day.
Oh, it's just so dumb. Like, why would you cheat on your wife in the first place? Just
Yeah, it's stupid.
But yeah, no, I don't know, that whole situation. Like I said, it's the dumbest thing I've seen in the news all week.
Well, it's gone beyond that too, because prior to this job, he was he was not a COO, but something else at another company, and he made a lot of enemies out of over there. They said a lot of people quit because he was basically threatening and terrorizing people, and all his enemies just they came for his head. As soon as that popped out, the newspaper outlets started getting hit up. They started getting hit up by people that worked over there, and they were like a bunch of people quit. And he replaced them with people that were loyal to him from a previous company he was working before that one. So it was just like, yeah, this one thing just brought out all his enemies, and like I said, his the ones that's probably suffering the most is probably his wife and his wife and his kid. Now my coworker, he was a paralegal, and he was like, "I ain't nothing gonna happen to that guy," and da da da. And I'm like, dude, have you seen the family court system? And he was like, "Oh, he'll be all right." And then I'm like, have you seen the family court system?
Right. Yeah, that's again, like, do you know who Johnny Somali is?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me answer Ariel. Ariel, I can tell you, I don't think they have an open relationship because before the wife shut down all her social media, she changed her married name. She changed it back. She changed her last name back to her maiden name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think they had an open relationship.
Yeah, and I
But
don't think I don't know anybody who would appreciate being humiliated like that, by their spouse. But and I mean, I'm sure the CEO and the other chick are probably plenty humiliated too. But I don't
yeah.
really care because they're the ones who caused the situation.
Well, Aaron, hold on, Aaron. I read a report that she's actually recently divorced. But yeah, there's two reports going about her. One saying that she's still married, the other saying that she's divorced. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know, but you know who Johnny Smalley is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's for those of you who don't know, he's a YouTuber and went and did some really stupid shit in a foreign country, and now he's going to do serious time in that foreign country in South
Yeah,
Korea.
South Korea. Yeah,
Um,
they don't play, man. That was
and
that was stupid.
he filmed all of his crimes and uploaded them to the internet, and that's kind of this is
That's
kind of
how they
that
got it.
same effect. This is kind of that same thing, though, right? Except they didn't intend to film it or whatever, but it like still they were in a place where, somebody was likely to see them, and also I don't know if y'all have been to Major League Baseball games, but they got a thing where called the kiss cam, right? Where they've got a guy on one of the cameras who just trolls through the audience, right? Just trolls through the crowd looking for people to put up on that jumbotron, and if they see somebody showing a public display of affection, they're obviously going to be up there. So like I mean, this is like a regular thing at baseball games and apparently now concerts. So
Yeah. Hey, isn't he in the SITV chat?
he's in the SITV chat. Yeah.
And why is he asking for a link?
Probably because I didn't provide links to anybody tonight except for this chat because I was in a hurry.
Oh.
I didn't send him one. That's why. It's nothing personal, Abe, man. I just, I was in a hurry and didn't really think too much about it. So here we be. Yeah.
Well,
I can't send him one. I just like, I didn't realize we were having guests tonight. So,
well, I mean, look, I didn't know. So, I mean, Abe, I didn't know. I actually assumed that you were going to be on tonight. You've been on pretty steady, so I assumed that you were coming on. But with that said, the other thing I want to talk about was, and this is what gave me the idea of tonight's show, is the guy, the handler for the Annabelle doll, how he passed away, and people were blaming the doll. And the cops actually had to release a statement saying that the doll wasn't even in the it wasn't even in the room with him when he died. And they were like, "Well, of course it wasn't. The demon got out of the doll and got into it." Like,
yeah. Are we talking about the actual doll or the one
yes.
from the movies? Because
No, he handles the actual Annabelle doll that was in the movies. Like the Mrs. Warren, the wife, from the Warrens,
yeah,
he
I know who
actually
she
knew
is.
her and actually was almost like a caretaker to her before she passed. And she passed the doll to him and a group of other people, but he's been handling that doll for decades. And he was on tour with it when he died.
Yeah, that sounds. I don't know if that's like a curse thing so much as like I mean, if he spent his life doing that, of course he would have it in his fucking possession when he died. Like
Well, he didn't physically have it. I mean, they lock it up and they put it somewhere because he has to wear gloves when he wears it and stuff. Because apparently the Warrens, the concern was if you touch it with your bare hands, the demon will can leave the doll and transfer into you and stuff like that. So there was certain protocols, and people that know him that were on that team, they were like, he's been handling that doll for decades. Why would they kill him now? And he was 50. And that's not old, but it's at an age too where there's been a few people this year that people die in their 50s. It happens, unfortunately. And the
yeah,
cops still they still don't know what happened, but they said there was no sign of struggle or anything like that. So it was like,
Well,
he's
I,
probably
I don't know that I believe that there was any kind of curse with that anyway, because the Warrens were shysters. They were liars. They profited on people by selling them half truths and shit. And yeah, the Catholic Church went all in on them, and they endorsed them and whatnot. But no, those guys were full of shit. The actual Warrens.
well, I mean, we kind of all are, man. That's why we have bathrooms.
Not what I meant, and you know it. I'm just saying that they preyed on people's insecurities, and they made a lot of money doing it.
So you're saying you don't think that nothing's ever happened anywhere. Anybody that's ever called them to
That's not what I
investigate.
said. I said the Warrens are full of crap. I think the Warrens were grifters. But no, I didn't say that it never happens anywhere. I just don't believe that anything that they had anything to do with. Maybe they got lucky and they found a real cursed object at one point, but I don't think anything that they made those movies on, any of that shit, was real. I think that was them telling stories and the Catholic Church backing them up.
Well, I mean, they did get calls from people who were saying, "Hey, this stuff and this and this is going on in our house." You know,
Right.
but I'm not saying I'm not saying that I disagree with you that they're shysters or whatnot. I wasn't there for any of it, but I've seen enough stuff in my lifetime to know that. Yeah, I've seen some stuff that I was like,
Oh,
that
I
ain't
have
no.
too. I have too, man. I have. We've had discussions about that. I think there's definitely more to the world than what we physically, experience. Absolutely, 100%. I just think that the Warrens took advantage of people.
I don't doubt that.
So like I guess what I'm getting at is I don't know that the doll itself necessarily there was anything to that. I think they had people convinced there was. So I don't necessarily think that there was any kind of, I guess, curse that killed this man. I think he probably just died.
Well, that's what the people on his team. That's what they're saying. They were like, we don't think that the doll had nothing to do with it. We'll find out what happened with him, but they were just like, listen, you know, the
Yeah.
doll, stop blaming the doll. It's just the doll. They were like, I mean, almost they stopped short of saying it's just a stupid doll because that'll mess up their business.
I mean, yeah, but it is just a stupid doll.
But they can't say that. Remember,
Right.
they gotta make their money.
Right. That's why I'm saying it for, because I can. It doesn't hurt me in any way to say that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry to hear the man pass. That's although to be fair, he made his living selling a lie too. So
Not if he really believed it.
I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. It's possible. So Abe the doll told me that Sam is gay because he didn't send me a link. Well, first of all, no, it didn't, because it's just a damn doll. And secondly, check your goddamn DMs. But Chris Angel really has magic powers though, right? No, he does not. But the thing is people know that that's a show. He doesn't bill it as he's an illusionist. He's not claiming to actually be performing real magic. And when he does say shit like that, it's part of the show. It's part of the experience. It's part of what you pay for. And everybody knows it. It's like going to see wrestling and being like, look, there's a certain amount of fakeism to actual, to like WWE style, wrestling and all that. But that's not, everybody knows it when they go there. They're not going there because they expect to see real wrestling, although there's some of that. I'll grant them that. But they're going there for the entire spectacle, right? It's the same thing with Chris Angel. They know they're being sold an illusion. That's different. The Warrens were selling an illusion, but they were telling people that it was 100% the truth with conviction. That's the difference. But also Chris Angel is like, he's no David Copperfield.
Well, I mean, David Copperfield is David Copperfield.
Right?
I mean, nobody's
dude made the Golden Gate Bridge disappear. So, what's next? Sam isn't real. No, he's real. Sam's real. He's not like you think, but he's real. So yeah, Ariel, that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like it's that it's all scripted and it's all like obviously injuries happen. Anytime you do anything physical like that, you're going to get injuries and that sort of thing. But those aren't the intent of the thing, and they're more of a byproduct of the show that they're selling, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's a show, but that's part of the fun of it, right?
Now there have been, now it doesn't happen all the time, but there have been times where real fights have broken out in the wrestling ring. I mean, you listen to, if you watch, they call them shoot interviews, but there's a bunch of interviews with wrestlers, and at times they were like, things went well until this person did this, and I'll give you an example. Hulk Hogan and Paul Orndorff, they were wrestling, and he said Orndorff was hitting him for real, wasn't pulling his punches, and he said when they locked up, he said, he told him, he said, "Hey man, I need you to lay off. You're hitting me too hard. You're hitting me a little hard." And he said Orndorff kept hitting him hard, and he said, "Look, you're really starting to hurt me. You need to stop." And he said Orndorff wouldn't stop, so then Hogan just started hitting him back for real, and it just really just broke down into a real fight. It's happened a few times. It's not intended. I've also seen interviews where they were like, two wrestlers got, they got pissed off each other in the ring, finished the match, went in the back, and literally walked through the curtain and started swinging on each other.
Yeah. Well, even stuff that's like not, aggressive fighting or whatever. Like they did a whole documentary back in the early 2000s on Mick Foley's laundry list of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that man
You
put
wonder how
himself
he's
through
walking.
freaking hell. He shouldn't be by any rights.
No.
He should be. In fact, he should kind of be dead.
Yeah.
But so yeah. I mean, I know it happens, but that's not the show though. That's when they go off script and it gets bad, and that does happen. That happens anywhere you work though. I had an argument with a coworker yesterday that kind of got ugly. Which is not the intended purpose of being at work, but sometimes shit happens,
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Abe.
Hi,
What's going on?
So you were able to make it. We're glad.
I was indeed, yes.
Now I'm going to cane him.
I literally got up specifically to be here, but some bastard didn't send me a link. Did they, Sam?
Like I said,
a green
I didn't think we
tentacle
were
one.
having guests this week, so I didn't
A
think
green
about it.
tentacle one that doesn't know how to play video games. He likes to get bent over and get big wooden wheels shoved up his green ass.
I don't see Larry doing any of this stuff, by the way. I don't see him
Because I know how to
out there
fight
playing games.
Because I know how to fight a video game. That's why you don't see me. Because I know what to do.
Larry probably would have cleared every single level that you've played so far in about 5
I
minutes.
sure as hell did.
Oh, sure.
I'm sitting there, I'm just looking at him, like, especially last night. I'm like, you're right up underneath this guy's nutsack, and you're still losing. And I even told him, I said, take the sword and give him some anal with it. And he's still swinging at his leg. I'm like, you're underneath the guy. You're literally underneath him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's fun watching Sam get beat up. Well, at least in the video game. If it was real life, of course I'm not gonna let Sam get beat up in a fight. If I'm nearby, of course I'm gonna help him out. And I wouldn't laugh at him.
Digitally beaten up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean digital. Yeah, him getting beat up digitally is great, but not in real life.
No.
Yeah. Look, I don't win every fight in real life, but they always remember me.
How many fights do you get in?
It's been a minute since I've had one. I'm kind of getting too old for that shit. I don't have the time or energy for it anymore. And
Yeah.
like I'm at an age now where I'm actually starting to understand all those old men when they tell you that, they're not going to fight you because they just don't have the ability to do so. So they'll just kill you outright and be done with it.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point myself where I know I can't keep up with these younger guys, but I don't want to lose either. So I'm just going to end it real quick.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, And also too is for me the way I fight is there's no such thing as rules to a fight because you stick to some rules, you may not make it home. So
Yeah.
I'm a brass knuckling 9 millimeter carry. Like, oh, and I'll give them a chance. I'll walk away. I'll just ignore them and walk away. But if they come, but if I, see them coming towards me or running at me, they eating brass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I later on when I
But
started doing it in a ring, right? Obviously, I started following some rules and stuff, but that's not how I learned to fight. I learned to fight by getting the shit kicked out of me as a kid, right?
yeah.
And I fight to win. I don't fight to fight. I just like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I don't pick fights. I don't get into this shit because I want to be there. But if it's gonna happen, I'm gonna do everything I can to put you down harder than you put me down.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine that I went to junior high with years ago told me something that has stuck with me, and that mindset I think fits perfectly what Larry was saying. He was telling me he's like, look, I know I can't fight, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick him in the balls. I'm gonna kick him in the balls hard, and I'm gonna do it over and over and over again until he's on the ground. And if he, and I'm gonna keep doing it until he stops squirming. And if somebody tells me that I'm a little bitch because I kicked him in the balls a bunch of times, I'd be like, yeah, who's crying like one?
It's true. It doesn't matter what somebody's opinion of it is because would you rather be able to go home and somebody you don't know call you a punk, or would you rather be in a hospital? You know, who knows what's wrong with you? You sit up there, and you can't even remember who you're talking to. You're like, I ain't
Yeah.
no punk
Mm-hmm.
with with your mouth being wired shut, you mumbling it.
Well,
Yeah.
Ain't
I
no punk.
suppose you have to really assume that, the options at the end of the day are, would you like to go home or not?
Right.
Yeah. But it's very simple. If there's me and another guy, one of the two of us is not going home in one piece.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I'm the guy who does.
Man, I'm so fucking sick of the UK right now. So sick of it.
I heard about what happened.
We can't even defend ourselves anymore. Not even in the slightest. Never mind just dropping someone. Now we just have to accept it. That we're being invaded constantly, and that we got politicians that are actively working for it.
Yep.
Maybe you should just come out to Wyoming. We can shoot somebody for sleeping with our wives.
They can. And I read today, Abe, that they lowered your voting age to 16.
I could believe it because they've just recently passed a bill in Parliament that effectively allows abortion up to the point of birth. And this was part of the euthanasia bill that was supposed to help people who were effectively trying to end their lives, and it was supposed to be originally a quality of life issue, and then they just dumped a whole bunch of other bullshit into it. It all got passed. All of the reasonable objections to it, all rejected. And all of Parliament passed this. Virtually no politician had any real opposition to it. So all I'm going to say is remember the 5th of November. Because that shit's going to happen again.
The gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the rest of the thing. I don't know. I just watched the movie.
It is.
I didn't know it. I didn't know the first fucking thing about Guy Fawkes until I read Alan Moore's work.
See, we used to have that as like a mantra to celebrate the fact that Guy Fawkes failed to destroy Parliament. Not anymore. Now it will mean the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And you wonder what what the hell? What the hell are these people thinking? But I mean, at that level, I think they've gotten to the point where they're just like, there's nothing the peasants can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and there really is nothing we can do either.
Rise up and overthrow them, but there's more of you than there are of them.
I was gonna say, 1776 Part 2 happens, on the Isles.
Yeah.
You can't say that they didn't have it coming or that they didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Like you guys got to remember. I don't know. I'm not talking to you specifically, Abe, but like to your country in general. You guys got to remember, you're not China. You're not a broken people.
Nope.
Well,
not yet.
What
not
few of us are
theory.
left? Yeah. Yeah, it's just sad,
Right. So yeah, it's. I mean, I don't want to be on YouTube and encouraging the overthrow of a government that's hostile to its own people.
I'll be right back.
But I kind of do.
Yeah.
It's just
Ariel,
it's been sad.
I just want to address that. Get the Irish, they hate the British. No, that's completely wrong. Let me tell you what the reality of it is. Ireland, and even to a certain extent, the Northern Irish, who consider themselves British, they hate the British government because of the things that it's done in the past and the ways that it's treated the Irish people. Okay? That doesn't mean that they hate everyone from England, Scotland, Wales. No,
Well,
that's different. We've got I mean, the sheep there absolutely hate the Welsh, but as a cheap shot, but but we as people, we've got nothing but love for each other.
Yeah, that hasn't been my experience at all either, Ariel. Like, I haven't obviously met nearly as many Irish people as Abe has because I don't live in close proximity to Ireland. But the ones that I have met over here generally don't really hate anybody.
No, they're great people.
Yeah.
You'll occasionally come across a total fucking wanker, but that's true anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
give them fully loaded potatoes.
I mean,
fucking hell.
Honestly, you got a 50-50 shot there, Ariel, of them doing what you ask and them just outright killing you for the insult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Two places I've always wanted to visit that I've now realized I probably never will. One was London, and the other is Ireland. And
skip London.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I've heard. So I'm like, okay, well, I know a lot of Irish people. I love the cuisine. I used to eat Lucky Charms all the time when I was a kid. So,
Okay, maybe skip Ireland as well then, because you don't want to be going there talking about fucking Lucky Charms.
Why?
You'll get a swift punch in the fucking face.
Well, they don't like Lucky Charms. It's just a cereal.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it was actually banned throughout the EU for a number of years.
What? Why?
Well,
it's not like there's a real pot of gold in it.
Because of all of it was basically a concoction of poison that was aimed at children. And the only way you can get it now is by going to one of these shops that imports it, that skirts around some of the rules. But it means like a box of Lucky Charms is like 10 quid, which for you would be like $13 or something.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out you have to pay extra to die quicker.
Shit, you can still get that shit here for like, I don't know, what, $4.25?
It's like $4,
yeah.
Which is too much. Well, look,
Yeah.
I mean, we got thanks to Robert Kennedy, hopefully he'll do, make them pull a lot of crap out.
Yeah,
We'll see.
hopefully. Hopefully.
I think in the case of breakfast cereals, that's an impossibility because it's basically the poison from the ground up. They're just going to end up having to pull all of them.
Then pull them.
So what you're saying, Abe, is that we need to send you boxes of Lucky Charms. I mean, if you're willing to do that, I will gladly accept them. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a little dose of American poison.
I mean,
And what doesn't kill you only makes you stranger.
I can't disagree, man. Look, I've smoked for 27 years, right? I've been putting poisons in my body for a very, very long time. I've done a lot worse than that too. I'm just not going to go into details here. A little bit of like fake plastic marshmallow goodness is not gonna kill me at this point.
Yeah. People talking about like microplastics and shit, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
Look, if
it's in your blood, it's in your water.
I wouldn't eat them.
Yeah. But you know what? Some of the most delicious things I consume, probably riddled with microplastics.
Yeah.
Past giving a fuck.
They're magically destructive.
Yeah. I try to do my Irish voice, but
I've always wanted to go to Ireland, man. Like I said, I hope me and my family. I hope we get to go someday. It looks like it's so much fun.
It's very pretty from what I've seen, but I have not actually been there physically myself. I'm just talking photos and videos and stuff.
It's like it's like what England used to be about 100 years ago.
No brown people.
You'd be surprised.
They've got a couple. Yeah, they've got.
Yeah. They actually ended up having to amend the Northern Irish Peace Treaty that sort of settled everything down to include Muslims, and that's kind of ironic because the increasing issues that particular demographic group present to the community has actually united the Catholics and the Protestants in a way that absolutely nothing else in history has ever done before.
Which Star Trek predicted, by the way. Star Trek did predict this when they talked about the Irish reunification of 2024.
Yes.
I didn't think it was actually going to happen, but when the loyalists and the terrorists started
absolutely
getting
prophetic.
Along, it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
It's like they weren't blowing each other up anymore for a while, at least not regularly, but they were never united on anything until last year.
Yeah. It's like, okay, there's actually a very large, very serious threat that is now threatening all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not British. It is definitely not British.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. It's in every street. And it's a damn shame.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of a damn shame, here's another service announcement. So I don't know if you guys saw that I left a message. I left before I went to bed last night. I left a comment in Sam's chat while he was playing. It came to my attention. So YouTube once again has screwed around with the algorithm for YouTubers. So now, in order for the algorithm for the bots to actually push your channel and actually advertise to people, they have to watch your video, they have to like and subscribe, and they have to leave a comment. So if you have what I'll call a fledgling channel like mine, where I've got like 28 subscribers, and I don't even think, I think my last 3, I'm not even sure anybody even watched them, but nobody leaves a comment. Well, my channel's never going to grow, because now it's not enough to just subscribe to somebody's channel. You have to actually watch their videos, hit the like button, and actually leave comments for the bots to even recognize them. And as you know, Sam, prior to that, if you start a channel, it really doesn't start pushing your channel to like what 6 months. So for like the first 6 months, you're literally just talking to no, you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they still won't push this one, but the shorts are getting some traction, but only certain ones and only with the right hashtags.
Yeah. So, but still, but you've gotten up to 312. I mean, that's not bad. You know, I'd rather have 312 that are and have good numbers over
We
time,
actually
which
hit
you do.
340 last week.
Yeah, three. So I'd rather have that than 400,000 members, and out of that, only 10,000 are watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, Aaron Lord, that's an excellent point because my fucking feed is full of shit that I watched years ago.
Yeah.
Right? It keeps trying to force me to go back and rewatch stuff that I've long since forgotten about.
Oh, yeah.
And that's frustrating as hell because it's not pushing newer stuff from channels I actually subscribe to. And I actually, so some of y'all know I had a bit of a breakdown a couple months ago regarding some of the political shit I was having to, get into and all that. And so part of my dealing with that was curating my feed both on Twitter and on YouTube, right? So I have recently actually cut down the number of people I follow on YouTube considerably. I think I dropped like 90 people I was sub to. And on YouTube, I cut out a lot of channels that I was subscribed to. And it isn't personal to these guys. It's just like a lot of them were showing content that was directly feeding into the crap I was trying to avoid in the first place. And it's, it's not their fault for being what they are. I just can't deal with that shit anymore. But the other part of that was that I was subscribed to so many people that I wasn't watching, right? I have a hard enough time watching my friends' stuff, all of the stuff everybody I know puts out, let alone channels I don't actually know or channels who don't really need my support, or that kind of thing. So I did trim it all down. And now, of course, it's not even feeding me the people I am subscribed to. It's just feeding me crap that I have seen years ago. So yeah, I hear you, Aaron. It's annoying.
Abos. I don't know. We'll workshop the serial name, I think.
Right. Yeah, Ariel, I think you missed the vast majority of it, but the last 2 years on Screaming Into the Void on Saturdays was very current event and political. Hell, we were live when Trump got shot. Like we had been live for 10 minutes when that happened. It completely threw the whole plan of the show out the window.
Oh, shit. Fucking hell. Larry's already on it.
Oh, good deal. Appreciate it. Yeah, and for the record, if y'all do feel like we're capitalists over here, we're not going to say no to your money or whatever. But I don't often push the Cash App link. I do pin it to the top of the chat, but you are under don't ever think you're under any obligation to have to do anything like with that at all. It's just there in case you want to. So just keep all of that stuff. Plus, YouTube doesn't see a fucking dime of that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this with my feed, I've had stuff pop up that were 13 and 14 years old that I watched 8 years ago, or when they first came out. But yeah, my feed is getting flooded with a bunch of old stuff, and now I know why. And it just started happening over the past week, just around the time where they made this new policy. Now all of a sudden, and I used to get what I was getting for the last couple of months was people who just started their channels, like they might have like 100 subscribers. Like I had today, in the middle of all these old videos, somebody with 68 subscribers popped up on my feed. So and I went ahead and subscribed and left her a comment, and I hit the like button because of what's going on. But now it's just like you said. I mean, Devil wasn't even the king of hell. Some of the channels I saw, he wasn't even the king of hell yet. He was just a minion that was pitchforking, people in the damn pits.
Yeah. But Devil was the one getting probed at the time. Took him a long time to make his way up. Isn't that right, Devil?
Yeah, you gotta work your way up from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, and now we're here.
Right.
Yeah. So, Devil, now that you're here, I'm gonna show you there. So, as per Aerial Ballet's request, Abe now sells cursed lucky charms to unsuspecting children.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So just Lucky Charms then.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you can see, add to the story that Abe sells horrible Lucky Charms cereal to unsuspecting kids because Ariel Ballet said, I didn't even tell it to make the damn thing cursed. Which, by the way, was the thing. What was the theme of tonight's show? Cursed objects in honor of the guy that the Annabelle handler that passed away. It's just like so.
Well, the ironic thing is I haven't even appeared in the story at all so far, and I'm already selling fucked up Lucky Charms to kids.
We're already in there now. Let's see. Abe stands behind a suspicious cardboard display set up next to the noodle fryer. On it, boxes of Lucky Hexes cereal featuring a screaming leprechaun on the front and a maze that's actually an interdimensional summoning circle on the back.
So he sells these out of the store and not out of his seedy white van.
I guess so.
Okay.
Abe grinning nervously. Aerial Ballet said I should diversify my revenue streams, so now I sell this to kids. Don't worry, it only sometimes whispers to them at night.
Only sometimes.
Oh Lord, here's Ariel. Ariel twirling past. Eat the charms, hear the truth. Also calcium. One kid takes a bite. His eyes roll back. He recites coordinates to an ancient city that doesn't exist anymore. Then asks for a second bowl.
But it has to be said like, eat their charms, hear their truth. Calcium.
Also calcium.
I don't like anything that's happening here.
Well, we could have named him after you, Devil. We could have called him Lucky Horns, but I don't think you would have liked that.
That's the worst name I've ever heard.
His Devil's Lucky Horn cereal.
You're not attaching my name to anything of the sort.
Devil's Tasty Tales.
I got nothing.
You're all fired. You're all
roasted
fired.
Devil's balls. His balls will be in different colors.
Devil's roasted testicles.
Worst R&D.
It'd be like Captain Crush. It'd be like a Captain Devil's cereal.
Fucking hell! But it's gonna end up like Devil CBT.
Yeah, Captain Devil's cereal. They're cursed.
Devil's cock and ball torture cereal. Like, holy shit! Is this marketed for kids?
You know the AI listens to you when you say shit like that, right, Abe?
I do. Yeah.
Cereal of the damned.
Yeah.
Devil's roasted mountain oysters.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Now you have a job.
So, Devil, we wanted to ask you, now that since you're here, I don't know if Devil's not the type that would really give a rat's behind about that idiot that got caught at that Coldplay at concert. So we can just ask him, what does he think about the guy that handles the Annabelle doll, and he died yesterday suddenly. Cops are saying first thing out of the cop's mouth was the doll didn't do it. The doll wasn't in the room, and they said there's no sign of foul play. But people who believe that the doll killed him, they were like, well, the demon got out of the doll and got into him and killed him.
Are you talking about the people that the Conjuring is based off of?
One of the guys who's connected to them has been touring with the supposed Annabelle doll.
Yeah, with the real Annabelle doll. He died 50 years old.
Mm.
They don't know what killed him. He was found dead by his teammates.
All right, he was only 50.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Wait till the actual autopsy's done. Maybe. Like I said, so
Fuck.
somebody died around the doll. It's bound to happen. You have that doll
Yeah.
around for how long? Eventually, people are gonna die around it. It's just,
Yeah.
Decades. He's had it for decades. He's been handling
Yeah.
it for decades.
Well, it's a statistical certainty.
yeah.
I'll tell you
Surely.
what, if the autopsy comes back that apparently a tiny little arm was shoved down his throat and his heart was crushed and there are tiny little wooden fingerprints on the heart, then I will believe the doll killed him. But until that,
See, I was thinking that there'd be like a tiny little plastic dagger in his heart.
Right.
But
Well,
same sort of thought.
Well, here's the
died
thing:
from
is it
loss.
wouldn't be little wooden fingerprints because very few people know this. The actual Annabelle doll is a Raggedy
Raggedy
Ann.
Ann.
Yeah, it's a fabric doll. It's not even a ceramic or wooden doll. It's
No.
Yeah.
kid stuffed animal essentially.
Yeah, it's just a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah. So
A
its
creepy looking
ability.
one, but
Yeah, I wouldn't. People will buy into anything, right? It's like Nostradamus, right? If you say 1,000 things, eventually a couple of them are going to come true, and you can sit there and claim that you got some, vision of the future. So it's the same thing here. Like I said, eventually people are going to die around anything. There's a fork out there that several people have died around. Oh my God, the fork is evil. No, it just people die.
Or it's got salmonella all over it.
Wash your damn fork, Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Or maybe a cat licked it and the fork had toxoplasmosis.
Yeah, but that just
That's
makes you
what I would
crazy and a
say.
slave to the little bastards. That doesn't kill you.
Well,
I did know
Jeremy's
a
a
guy
slave
once,
to Gal, who's a little bastard, so he must have toxoplasmosis.
Right? I did know a guy once who
Only if she licks you.
who went to
Mhm.
Vegas. He went to Vegas every year and he bought himself a hooker and he had a nice time at the slot machines and he went out to dinner every year on his birthday. He would do this and he never had any problem. The last time he went out there, he came back with a raging case of mouth herpes, and it wasn't because of the hooker. It was because he ate off a fucking fork that was supposed to be clean but wasn't.
That nasty.
Well,
Yeah.
I will be taking a plastic fork to every restaurant that I go to from now on.
Yeah, if I ever find myself in that place, I'll be doing prison rules. Just be picking shit up with my fingers and everything.
Well,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to figure out how the hell that would happen because, like in our restaurant, every
Yeah.
single fork goes right into a bin that is filled with water that sanitizes it. Then that gets poured into a tray that goes through a superheated dishwasher, and then after that, it's air dried, all to kill any bacteria. So I don't know how the fork would get around that system unless the kitchen was just completely inept and just took a fork out of the from
Out of
one plate
somebody's
to
mouth
another.
and then set it right back,
Yeah, on another plate, because like I said, the second it hits the first wash, it's sanitized. The rest of that after that is redundancy just to make sure. So like I
Right.
said, the dish people would literally, the waitresses or whoever cleared the table would literally have to take the fork dirty, nasty, and just put it on another plate or in the rack to be sent back out. And that's just complete and utter,
No, I agree with you.
negligence.
I think this was probably a freak occurrence, not a regular thing. Because of the redundancies that are in place, because of all of the laws about food safety and that sort of thing in restaurants, particularly in a place like Vegas where they see a lot of traffic, right? So I absolutely agree with you, but that's what happened to him. And somehow that fork just didn't end up going through the process. Either that, or it was like a waiting scenario where somebody decided to fuck with the customers. maybe he was a bitch or something at the ordering, and so somebody just put his fork in their mouth and swirled it around and then sent it out to him. I mean, that could have happened too. There are some vindictive people
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know?
Could be some malicious fuckers out there.
It was Vegas herpes, gain of function herpes.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
All right. Well, Devil, now that we got you here, so Monsters Ball tonight continues. Now here's the announcement that I put out earlier. After we finish this, these final rounds, Monsters Ball is going to take a hiatus until September. The reason why is September I've designated the road to Halloween. So from September all the way until the end of October is when the whole time I pretty much we're celebrating Halloween. We started this last year. This year, two major things is happening in October. In the middle of October will be the 150th episode of Abyssal Musings, and our last show in October will actually be on Halloween night. So this year, Halloween is on a Friday night. What I want to do is I want to take the time to retool Monsters Ball, get a whole new lineup, get some input of what people would like to see, and make it better than what it already is. Because this time around, I put names on a list. I've had to take people off. I've had to put them back on, do a whole bunch of other stuff. But I think that Monsters Ball could be so much better than what it is right now. And I want it to be themed more around, Halloween and not just fictional, monsters, whether it be fictional monsters or even just, you don't have to be a literal monster to be a monster. I mean, we could take, Hannibal Lecter versus Jeffrey Dahmer, who would win, something like that. Monsters could be so-called ordinary people too. But like I said, what we could do tonight is, so tonight's battle is supposed to be, it is the tall man versus Pinhead. Now we could do that, or we could do this. Hold on, let me switch. So good old Chat GPT. I told Chat GPT to make a bracket. Now I got that program that you sent to me, and I was going to use it, but then they were just asking for too much information, that access to stuff that I wasn't comfortable giving them. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I've got to find something else. So I just told ChatGPT, I was like, hey, just make a bracket, and I put the matchups, and so it did. It just, I mean, it calls it a bracket, but it's only like no damn bracket. It just made a list. But it's got all the matches down. Well, because of the way the numbers work, the final battle, it would basically be a three-way. It would be a three-way brawl, which I think is a great way to end it. But I figured, since it's, it's kind of something. I wanted to get your opinion as to what you wanted to do tonight. Do you wanna stick with just only doing the tall man versus Pinhead, and then we can always put, okay, see what it says about match 2, and see what the AI thinks would win, or do you want to knock them all out?
I'm down for whatever. I don't want to be the decider here. I just
Well, I mean, I'm
whatever you
taking
wanna do.
everybody. I'm just taking your opinion, and then I'm gonna ask Sam and Abe and the chat. So, I'm just starting off with you.
If we're gonna do, then I would just say go with what we've been doing, and then when you change it up, we'll play by the new rules type thing. But that's just me.
Okay. So no one hitter quitter tonight. Okay. Sam.
Well, first of all, chat, we're talking about fictional monsters here, not the IRS.
There's nothing on this list as scary as the IRS. Let's be honest.
No, there's not. First thing Ariel puts in is the IRS versus the Joker. We already know who wins that fight because the Joker actually said he was terrified of the IRS in a comic book years ago. So Killing Joke, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So the IRS doesn't get included because they're actual demons from an alternate hell dimension here to suck all of our souls and money. Anyway, I don't know. I think. Yeah, I think I kind of agree with Devil. I think we should probably finish up where we're at the way we've been doing it, and then make the change up.
Okay. Abe.
Yep, I concur.
He hasn't
All
been
right.
here for it.
Well, I guess that leaves the chat, but I think I know what the answer is going to be. Which is fine.
Yeah.
We'll just go with that.
Yeah, I don't know, Chad. If you guys have any input on that, let us know. Please do. The Vogons, they're not scary. They're retarded. They're bureaucrats.
Yeah. Intergalactic bureaucrats.
And possibly the worst poets in existence in any universe.
Also, the worst song that the Beastie Boys ever did. Intergalactic bureaucrats.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we're gonna start that, if we are going to do it this way, then do. Here we go. Welcome everybody to Monsters Ball. I'm your host, Lord.
Yay!
Yeah, greetings and salutations and greetings. All right, so we've gone over these two before, the Tall Man versus Pinhead. I think is going to be a very, very interesting battle. Let's see where we start out. So the Tall Man, as sure as you guys know, he's a bit of a mystery, but he's not just, he's almost like how Q referenced at the end of Picard season 3 when he was talking to Picard's son, and his son was like, didn't you die? And he was like, man, you humans think in such linear terms. Well, the Tall Man is kind of the same thing. I mean, one of them was killed in an explosion. Reggie and his little buddies thought that they did something great, and then a portal opened up, and another Tall Man walked through and just picked up where the first one left off. So, and the Tall Man itself is actually a dimension in himself. So you have that, and then you have Pinhead, who, Sam, I'll let you take that off because that is that's your favorite character.
Yeah, it's up there. It's probably one of my favorite franchises. But
yeah,
what's really funny about this is that I actually so I was on the phone with a friend earlier today, and I broke down the entire series for her already once today.
What, the whole series?
Yeah, she's like, I said, oh yeah, by the way, Henry Cavill was in part 8. And she's like, what? There are 8 of these movies? I was like, there are 11.
It's like, yeah, one of them includes Pinhead being on the internet, so just brace yourself.
Which is the one Henry Cavill dies in, by the way.
Yeah. And actually one of the better ones, I would say.
I disagree. I think it's absolute shit, but it's fun.
Oh, get off.
No. You know that movie was basically just another script that they tacked Pinhead and the Hellraiser label onto because they wanted to hold on to the franchise, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a different thing entirely. And when they rewrote it to include Pinhead, they basically stole the entire plot from the first Pumpkinhead movie, including the star of that movie, Lance Henriksen.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying that it wasn't garbage.
It was.
I'm just saying that so many of those films were such shite that when you think about the pantheon of those films, it was one of the better ones.
Well, that's the thing, is it was one of the most slipshod ones too, because it was filmed at the same time by the same crew in the same locations in Romania as the seventh movie, Hellraiser Deader, right? So Deader and Hellworld filmed at the same time, same crews, same everything and all that stuff. And both of them were completed in under 30 days because they wanted to hold on to the rights. They were also both released within like a month and a half of each other, straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Same year. Like they put the least amount of effort into those two movies.
Yeah. Totally.
And it was funny too, because while Doug Bradley played Pinhead in the first 8 movies, including those two, you get to part 9, which is trying to get back to the roots of the thing. It was about hedonism, and it was about excess, and it was about, all the horrible shit that involves, up to and including murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Doug Bradley read that script and he said, "No, this is too shit even for me," which is why they had to hire a new guy.
And it was just horrible though, because you're like, this is clearly not Pinhead.
The prosthetics looked like shit. The actor was wooden and didn't have any charisma at all, and you couldn't really read through the makeup effects anyway. It was really, really bad. The guy after him in part 10 did better, but it still wasn't the same. Plus Bradley was getting old at that point, so like his jowls were preventing some of the prosthetic makeup from being attached properly.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I guess long story short, he is the Hell Priest. Pinhead is a nickname that he does not appreciate, which is why people generally don't call him that to his face unless they're guaranteed that they can defeat him. Because he eviscerates people and he doesn't always leave them dead after he does it.
Or being the master of ceremonies that he is, they could just be looking for a really good time.
Yeah,
right. We'll see what he thinks.
The box. You opened it. We came.
Yeah, it's a good soundbite.
I do that impression to people randomly sometimes just to fuck with them.
This character, of all the movie monsters out there, right? Like, as weird and off-putting as the Cenobites are, he has the most eloquent, elegant dialogue of any villain out there.
Yeah.
And some of it's really, really good dialogue and stuff. Plus, it helps that his delivery, Doug Bradley's delivery, is always on fucking point with that. He can make trash dialogue sound good, that guy. But that's one of the things I always liked about him over guys like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, who were both mute, or guys like Freddy Krueger, who is crude as fuck with everything he says. Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was too. I mean, think about it. The box, you opened it, we came.
That's not what he meant.
Yeah, I know it's not what he meant, but it can be it can be taken that way. Let's hear another one. Here's what he's saying to Christy Cotton.
Kirsty.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
Yeah, good line too.
This one.
We'll tear your soul apart.
That one's a little bit out of context, because that's what he said would happen if she fucked him over.
Yeah.
So, but like he's got this great bit of dialogue in Hellraiser 3 that is arguably where everything went wrong. Right, that movie. But there's a bit where he's talking to the character Joey, who was played by Terry Farrell, and she's trying to figure out what the hell he is.
Yeah.
And so he explains it to her this way. He says, there's a secret song at the center of the world, and its sound is like razors through flesh. I'm here to turn up the volume. I fucking love that line.
Yeah. Oh, Blindy's got a great question there. Which one is Pinhead, a black man with an afro? That's the Netflix adaptation.
That hasn't happened yet. And Netflix can't have it yet because the rights are solely in Hulu's possession at the moment. Although the last one, there was a trans actor, Jamie Clayton, who played Pinhead in the last one. Although I have to say, as a fan of the franchise,
were they trans?
Non-binary.
He is no trans. It's full on trans. But I would say that Jamie Clayton was excellent in that role.
Yeah.
I have no issue with Jamie Clayton's casting
Jamie
or
did an excellent
performance.
job.
You know, there were a lot of people who were upset about you know, they're just like, why are they casting this trans person, or why are they casting a girl even who, you know, and because Pinhead's always been a man. I was like, you didn't read the book, did you? Because if you had,
if you're arguing about the gender identification of a non-gendered demon being, you know,
specifically
you've probably
designed
been
to be as confusing as possible, by the way, aesthetically.
yeah, you've probably been around a cooler a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I get in that circumstance that it makes perfect sense with the character, but we know why they did it. There's still a legitimate argument when it's all done for a political or an ideological purpose and not because it's better for the story.
I would
There's
agree
always
with
an argument
you,
for it.
except that it was never brought up during the story, in the story itself. Right?
No, but it was made, it was done so they can have articles, and we know that because that's all you saw article wise about the movie. All the stuff from that movie before it came out was only about, oh my god, girl Pinhead, oh so brave. So that's what they pushed about it. It was never about, oh, this is a really good movie, we really hope you guys want to watch it. It was always about, look what we did. Well,
right.
then it's a political thing.
I'm with you on that, because I was a little trepidatious about it myself, right? Until I watched the movie, and you know, like there's representation crap in the script, but the thing about it is that it was one of the few movies of the time. This came out in like 22, I think. That while it had that stuff in the movie, there was a trans playing Pinhead. One of the main character's brother is gay, and his boyfriend is like a secondary main character. While those were true of those characters and the people playing them, none of that interfered with the character work itself or the storytelling, and none of it was brought up to the forefront like, this is my whole identity and you better respect it. They didn't do that once in the script, you know, which I did appreciate about it.
I do really now want to see that version that Old Blindy suggested, Hellraiser 45, starring Samuel L. Jackson. And he's not even like Pinhead. Like, it's just no pins in his head. It's just Samuel L. Jackson.
Smooth head.
He just like walks on screen, and you know, he's come straight from hell, and he's just smoking a cigarette. He just appears and he's like,
fucking Kirsty.
Fuck y'all motherfuckers been doing now.
Yeah, fucking Kirsty opens the box and all she hears is, does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch to you?
Yeah.
Bitch, we will tear your soul apart.
Yeah. It's like, lament configuration. When you absolutely positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room except no substitutes.
Silly motherfucker, you open the box. So we came.
Tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
I'm sick of these motherfucking Cenobites all up in this motherfucking hell.
Oh. Anyway, sorry, kind of got off where we were supposed to be with this. I just kind of
Devil then left. Devil camped out and he muted.
Yeah, that would be it. I would probably watch that just because it sounds fun. But
hell yes.
Yeah, it's so the character itself, right, used to be human. A guy named Elliot Spencer fought World War I, got all hedonistic, opened a box, became, you know, what became the Hell Priest. And he is a special Cenobite. He's not like all of the other Cenobites answer to him because, number one, he's the head of the Order of the Gash, which is the religious order that he belongs to. A Cenobite is a kind of monk.
Right. Just a quick aside. Do you know what gash means in the UK?
No.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It means that here too, sometimes.
Sweet.
But in this case, they actually mean like the splitting open of flesh. So where there wasn't a hole before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he is not only the head of the religious order of the Cenobites, but he also is in direct communion and receives power directly from the god of the labyrinth, Leviathan. Right. So he's almost like an avatar of his god's power being sent out into other dimensions and whatnot when they're summoned. Obviously, he's got rules he has to play by, but if you break the rules, he gets to too. So yeah.
Oh yes.
That's what it is. And he is a being of immense power. Pain is something that he cares quite a bit about pain, but it isn't in a way that like you can't make him submit by hurting him. These people get off on that.
Right.
Yeah.
And like he can summon the chains, he can fuck with people's dreams, he can do all kinds of fun shit like that. Within certain bounds, as long as the rules are observed, he is bound to certain rules. But like what happened in Hellraiser 3, he got let off the chain, right? And it got he started fucking murking people left and right who had nothing to do with the box or anything.
Yeah.
He was just letting off some steam.
Yeah, and if you get into the comics at all, when Kirsty ended up taking his place as the new Hell Priest, he ascended to near godhood himself.
Yeah.
It's there's some weird shit in the canon too that doesn't quite track or make sense, but he is a being of immense power because he is backed by a being of even more immense power.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they ever really go into that, do they? Too much in the
they kind of do in Hellraiser 2, when Shenard seeks to usurp his position as Leviathan's favorite.
Yeah.
So there is a power struggle there. And
that's
Pinhead
it, really.
loses. Pinhead loses because Leviathan chooses Shenard over him. Briefly,
something I did find quite interesting, and we're in danger of just turning this into a commentary about the Hellraiser series now because it's so great. One of the later films, one of the last films they did, they start talking a bit more about the different factions within Hell that are vying for power between each other.
I think you're talking about Bloodlines.
Yeah, I think it was
Hellraiser Bloodline. Yeah, because Angelique, the first demon we meet in that movie, is referred to as Princess by Pinhead throughout, and she belongs to a different faction, and she belongs to a time before the Order of the Gash brought order to Hell, when it was a more chaotic place.
Yeah, she came from the Order of the Butthole.
I mean, they were doing things the old-fashioned way with the Temptations and all this stuff. So yeah,
they're more universally accepting.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So we see here. I mean, you just look at the powers that this guy has, and like you say, he's not an ordinary Cenobite, but I mean, vast demonic powers, torture. I mean, immortality, cryokinesis, telekinesis. I mean, this is a monster, man.
He does.
I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what this means. Elisa Dagnesis? What is this?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I'm not familiar with that either.
So I do know about the cryokinesis. There's a bit in Hellraiser 3 where he's tearing through a club called the Boiler Room, and at one point he makes this dude's drink like float up out of the glass and take the shape of his face, and then it turns into a giant icicle and impales him through the head.
It's the chains. It's his ability to control the chains.
Okay, that makes sense.
Really?
Just the chains.
Conjuration.
Controlling chains has its own ISIS.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Damn.
Alrighty. And on the flip side, we've got the tall man. Jedediah Morningside. Tell me that's not a scary name.
Can you imagine if this guy did the fucking voiceover for Kratos in the new God of War games instead of Chris Judge? Boy.
And his real name is scary too. The actor's name is Angus Grimm.
Yeah.
Was he Scottish by any chance?
You die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
I think he was English.
I think it was English. Let's
Because
see.
Angus isn't really all of
Play
that.
a good game, boy. But the game is finished. Now you die.
Angus isn't really a super rare name over here. It's not common,
thanks for
but
coming.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not that common here either, but it does happen.
Yeah, I've been a
The
couple of
surname's a bit unusual though.
But yeah, so this guy, I mean, he's a crazy mortician. He's just going around collecting souls. I don't even know. I don't know I haven't seen all of the movies, but I don't know what his aim is. You know, he just goes around killing people and just taking their souls, and then he takes their brains out and he turns them into these things. He puts their brains inside these spheres.
Yeah.
There's also essentially like Jawa kind of characters that he uses in his realm.
Yeah,
that
grave keepers or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that also are husks of humans. But yeah,
And he's going around just killing people. Mass murder, attempted world domination, slavery, stalking, torture, kidnapping, possession, destruction. I mean, shoot, nigh omniscience, nigh invincibility, telekinesis, immortality, regeneration, access to otherworldly technology that creates monsters, genius level intellect, resistance to disease, enhanced strength, stealth, ability to make his severed body parts become independent organisms, can command sentinels, which is the spheres.
This is actually sounding closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah. What's this Oneirokinesis?
Oneirokinesis. I should know what the hell that is. I don't remember off the top of my fucking head. That sounds familiar. Let me look it up. Because Oneiromancy is a thing too.
Dream manipulation.
Yeah, that's it.
So basically he's a Freddy Krueger too. Mirror manifestation, shape-shifting, knowledge of alchemy, because he is an alchemist, extrasensory perception, possession, paralysis inducement, clairvoyance, telepathy, necromancy, resurrect. Look at this list.
That's a hell of a list.
Creation, invisibility, invulnerability, intangibility. This guy is penetration. So this guy is stacked. Reality warping.
He also got a pretty big hog too.
And even if he didn't, he could just wish one into being.
Yeah, he could.
Let's be honest, with all the pain that freaking Pinhead goes through, or you really think he's going to have a problem with a little bit of anal penetration?
No, not at all.
Oh no,
hell no.
He'd be like, that's the most least painful thing I will have had happen to me in the past hour. He's all, go ahead, tall dude.
You opened my anal box, and so I came.
Ariel, we did. That was the one that he was that allows him to manipulate the chains with his mind. We did look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's world domination is what he's after, and he's killing people and making them join his little Jawa. You either start out as part of his Jawa army or a sentinel, one or the other, while he's running around just doing whatever the hell he wants to do. The guy is creepier than Freddy Krueger, in my opinion. So here we get to the point: is who wins? Devil, who do you think wins?
This one's actually a really hard one. Oh God, I don't know about this one. Because usually there's some defining thing that we can point to that gives one the advantage, or one has a
Yeah.
clear advantage, and we know right from the beginning who wins. In this case, like I said, they both are stacked on powers. They're both pretty much indestructible. You know, even if you think you killed them, they're not dead. So I don't know.
I mean, are either of them even capable of death?
Here's the thing: neither one of them are from this dimension, so it's like death here doesn't mean the same to them as it does to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is why I said that made the Q analogy from earlier. We think in linear terms. So when you
Yeah.
look at Pinhead, I mean,
That's the
Pinhead's a
thing.
Phoenix.
That's the thing. Okay, so yeah, Pinhead can die, but he also comes back when that happens. He died in Hellraiser 2. He died
Yeah.
in Hellraiser 4. You know, it's like he
Infinite
doesn't stay dead.
resurrection. You know. Yeah.
Yeah,
If-
and every time. Go ahead.
Yeah, if Leviathan has need of him, he comes back. Period.
Yeah, and the tall man, we've seen him get supposedly killed, but then he's still there. So it's not really clear if he can be destroyed.
Yeah, one gets
Mm.
destroyed, and then a portal opens up, and another tall man walks right through it and picks up where the other one left off.
Yeah.
So, all right, Sam, what's
and
your?
actually, let me clarify something real quick. When I say he died in Hellraiser 2, he didn't die exactly. Again, death does not mean the same thing in our world to them. He was split because he was reminded of his human self, right? So in Hellraiser 3,
Yeah.
that's kind of the whole plot point of Hellraiser 3, is that his human self was divested from his demon self, and they became two separate beings. And the demon self was no longer tempered by the human side. Right. And that's why he was so freaking unstoppable in that movie, because he didn't have rules anymore. He still had all that power, but he wasn't confined to the rules, because it was kind of his human self that was sort of keeping him tethered to Leviathan that way. Right. So yeah, I don't know. I think I don't think it'd be a draw, but I think it'd be pretty close, and I'm not sure which side it would be. Probably, and I really, really hate to give it to him, because obviously not my favorite in the fight. But I think the tall man would probably win out, because while Pinhead has the backing and is channeling basically the god of an entire dimension, the tall man is the god of his dimension.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And
if old Blondie, if you're right, and tall man can die and Pinhead can, even if Pinhead can be brought back, the fight is to the death, not can you be brought back from said death. So if he can kill Pinhead and Pinhead can't kill him, then he kind of wins.
Right. But I mean, he doesn't even really have to kill. All he has to do is convince Leviathan to sever the connection. Right. Because that's what happens.
He could probably just warp reality so that he doesn't even exist.
If they're both their own freaking gods of the dimension, Leviathan might be a girl and they might be in a relationship. We don't know.
Well, Leviathan is shaped like a giant pointy dildo.
Yeah, there you go. Tall man's boyfriend. There.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes when he feels like it, you know.
Sometimes Leviathan is shaped like a giant floaty a Rubik's Cube, but
yeah. And every once in a while their two dimensions rub against each other and make little baby dimensions.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think while I do think that the fight would be protracted and it would be drawn out, I do think that the tall man comes away with this one. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. My retort would be Paris Hilton with a new Razr phone now.
What?
It's been the most distracting fucking thing on his page I've seen so far. On the right-hand side with the adverts.
Oh,
I'm like, you're Paris Hilton. Why the fuck are you pushing Motorola products?
Paris Hilton's pushing a lot of shit lately, including new music. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, I kind of figured.
I don't care if it's Pinhead or the tall man. Just take me out now. Christ.
Yeah. So anyway, Larry, that's where I'm sitting with that. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think the tall man's got this one. As much as I'm loath to say it.
Indeed. I don't
Yeah.
know. Did Larry step away? Is he muted?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had pulled my I had pulled it up, pulled my what you call it? I had muted so that you guys could talk. But this is not an easy one because
Yeah.
I'm looking at the method and the way that the tall man does things and the methods that he uses, I'm not sure would work on Pinhead. I don't think he's turning him into a Jawa. I don't think he's gonna be able to get Pinhead's head and turn it. He hits his head with one of those Sentinels. That I think Pinhead's gonna laugh at him. I think it's gonna be more of a long drawn out fight, um, and more of a who slips up first kind of type of thing.
Yeah.
And both are very intelligent. That's the thing. But I got to give the edge to Tall Man, and here's why.
Yeah.
Pinhead goes away. His survival is based off of his boss. It's not the same thing for the Tall Man. And if Pinhead managed to defeat one Tall Man and turn him into a Cenobite, well, now he's got to deal with another one, and potentially infinitely another one after that. And eventually, Tall Man's gonna wear him down. He's gonna try to figure out what the hell do I do? Because I answered to somebody, and this guy doesn't. So I think in the end, I think the tall man wins out.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking how horrible it would be to have DJ Khaled as a Cenobite.
Or
he'd be like, and another one. And another one. Like, oh, God damn. This man won't stop recruiting.
All right, let's do it. Let's go run Matt 2.
Review. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
Should I?
This should be interesting.
Who wins and why?
Yeah.
Alien Undertaker Necromancer from the Phantasm universe wields flying sentinel spears with drills, lasers, and acid. Commands armies of dwarf-like undead created by compressing corpses. Can teleport, phase through dimensions, and regenerate. Possibly a multiversal being. Has alternate versions of himself. Pinhead, former human turned Cenobite from Hellraiser. Commands the Cenobites and controls Hell's puzzle dimensions. Invokes chains, flesh-rending hooks, and sadomasochistic torture. Summoned via the Lament configuration, powers tied to Hell's laws and rituals, but immense within his domain. The battle begins. Tall Man steps through a portal into a cold, dim-lit realm, a hell dimension. Silver spears spin around him. He snarls, "Boy!
Boy!
Where's Shadow of Hawk when we need him?" I'm going to say that to him so bad.
Yeah.
Chains snap from the darkness, seeking flesh. Pinhead appears, intoning, "You have called, I have come. Your soul will be exquisite." The tall man is not impressed. His spears intercept the hooks midair, drilling through them and launching acid mist. Pinhead merely smirks, chains multiply and rip through corpses around them, pinning them midair as bait. But the tall man doesn't bleed. He replaces the bodies with dwarfed, twisted, reanimated things. They swarm Pinhead. Pinhead activates full Cenobite form, chains slash in all directions, flaying dwarves. Yet he finds himself unable to truly kill the tall man, who simply vanishes and reappears behind him. Key turning point. Pinhead attempts to imprison the tall man in the Leviathan labyrinth, but the tall man, whose origin lies in manipulating dimensional gateways, hijacks the portal matrix itself. For a brief moment, Pinhead feels something new: displacement. The tall man opens a dimensional rift and implodes Pinhead's domain, shattering the ritual space required to manifest his full powers. Pinhead weakens outside his configuration rituals. His hooks falter. With a gesture, the tall man's silver spear bores into Pinhead's skull, drilling endlessly. Pinhead gasps one final time, "I have such sights," then silence. Winner, the tall man. Why? The tall man's mastery over dimensions, the ability to replicate himself, and control over both technology and necromantic forces give him a tactical edge. Pinhead is godlike within the rules of his puzzle box summoned domain, but the tall man disrupts those very rules. The tall man treats the laws of depth and space like toys. He breaks Pinhead's carefully ordered reality before Pinhead can trap him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of
Yeah.
makes sense. Real quick, Ariel, no, the box is a convenience. There are other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he just calls phone directly, he'll show up.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like Narnia. There's more than one doorway.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I'm now just picturing like Pinhead's picture in like phone booths with like a call number where you could just be like,
Yeah.
Call me on
time.
1-800
Really
Pinhead."
bad time call.
All right, guys. With that said, it is time to go. Let's go around the box. We'll start with Devil.
Yeah, check me out on here very shortly on the pub over on my channel, and check me out Wednesdays over on the channel with Make Me a Sandwich.
8.
I'll keep it brief. I'll be on the pub shortly. Then I'll probably be on the Full Aussie podcast a couple hours after that. Then a few hours after that, I'll be on Anime After Dark over on Tomby's channel. And then I'll be back on Sam's channel, 11 p.m. UK time. Yeah, I think that's it for now. And then everything else is just next week, which is a way longer list.
All right, Sam.
Next up, I'll be over on Devil's channel here shortly for BL's Pub. Should be a good time. Come hang out if you can. We are back this week with Screaming Into the Void tomorrow. We've got some fun stuff to talk about. I think some of, involving like cannibal robots and also apparently the weighted companion cube from Portal is real. So we're going to discuss that too. Probably some other stuff. We'll see what happens. The next Screaming Into the Void tomorrow is not it, but a week from tomorrow will be our 150th episode, and we're going to have a long show, hopefully with a fairly sizable panel, and we will be EFAPing the God Makers. So that should be an interesting time. We're going to take it frame by frame, and yeah, that'll be fun. So don't miss that one. It'll be the 150th episode. Not many shows on YouTube reach 150 episodes, so I am actually very proud of this. And please do join us. Tomorrow's 149th. Come to that one too. Cannibal Robots. Just saying. I will definitely be around the next time Amira streams because number one, she's a little mad at me about last week, and number two,
Yeah, she's pissed. Yeah,
I know.
Pissed.
I'm fully
Really?
aware she is, but I also, I couldn't get out of it, and she knew that. So,
You think she cared?
well, I know she did.
Bless your soul.
Look, nobody gives a guilt trip better than Jewish grandmother than an Arab woman. Believe me.
Mm.
Is there a time
Yeah.
where she's not pissed?
No,
On occasion.
no, no.
Like when she gets her next gold card, she's like, "Oh, I'm happy for 5 minutes."
Yeah. So anyway,
Try 2.
but I will be there the next time. Plus, we got Mellow Mondays on Monday with Adam the Renaissance Nerd. We're going to be talking about probably all things pop culture. I'm going to probably bring up Mortal Kombat because new trailer dropped for the next one. So,
Yep. Johnny Cage.
And we'll see how that goes. But it should be a good time too. And then we'll be back here next week for more Abyssal Musings. So thank you all for coming. Larry, what do you got?
Sweet.
I will be on the world famous Exile Landers 2 channel as a moderator tomorrow. Been busy this week. I'm going to try to get some content out. I know that's not going to happen this weekend because I'll be gone. But next week I am going to try to get some content out. I'm probably going to continue on with the Villains game show that I've been playing. I'm probably gonna record a podcast and go over some movies and things that have been coming out, and that will probably do it. I might do that Thursday. I'll have to see. But yeah, I'm gonna play it by ear. That's pretty much it for me.
All right. Everybody on the panel here, they're except for Abe. Because again, didn't plan on guests tonight. The links are in the description below, but Abe is also regularly in the link box on Saturday, so you can find it there to follow him to wherever it is that he goes.
You opened the link box, and so I came.
Yeah, he did too. He finished. It's
really
gross.
Only took me 38 seconds as well.
Right. So Az really started something with that. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Thanks to the awesome panelists here, and we will see you all next time, right here next week and tomorrow, hopefully. Have a great night, everybody. Remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Bye.
Bye, folks.